Okay, so here are some, I guess, practical examples of physical, social, emotional, and intellectual development. Now, a lot of boys make the mistake of crisscrossing or confusing this with physical, social, and mental health. Physical development is about the process of development. Now, it goes through the lifespan, so it's growth. It includes your brain growing in size. It includes aging, which is the decline of body systems, things like wrinkled skin, losing hair for males, reduced brain development, obviously, with diseases like Alzheimer's disease. And it also includes motor skill development, so obviously the learning to walk, and then obviously more significant and specific skills like kicking, running, tying shoelaces, and so on that we need for everyday life. Social development is how well a person is developing their ability to interact socially at different stages of their lives. Now, you'll remember social health refers to your friendship groups and how well you communicate with others. This is developing those communication skills, whether they be written or verbal. And obviously they come through school, they come through sporting experiences, and we carry them through our lives. We're always learning how to communicate appropriately with different people. You learn that very quickly that in this example here, you use very different language, for example, to your mother or dad than what you might do with your mates at school. So that learning of appropriate behaviours is a key to social development through youth, and youth being the ages of 12 to 18, but also through childhood and the rest of our lives. Our emotional development is all about how well we recognise and how well we deal with emotions. Self-concept is the big one. So it's how you see your abilities. Now, it might be that you're a really good footballer from prep to grade 6. So in year 7, you're likely to try out for football, which means you're going to be a lot more physically active, which means your physical development and social development, obviously because you're making friends, you're communicating with a wide range of people, is going to be a lot better off because your self-concept's higher. People can have differing self-concepts depending on the task. Some people might see their abilities as really good in sport, but not so good in academic work, for example. Okay, so our intellectual development involves the development of our brain, essentially, and for kids, young children, intellectual development might mean learning to speak, or learning word object associations, learning colours, and so on. And as we progress through our schooling years, we start to be able to solve problems like you might do in maths or in exam questions or in PE. As a young person learning to play basketball, you might have been taught the skills of how to dribble and how to shoot and how to pass. Whereas now you're thinking about, well, okay, how can I best break down a zone defence, or how can I best break down a man-on-man defence? And that's all because your intellectual development, the capabilities of your brain have improved. You become more creative. Now, creativity and imagination, they develop with experiences. So the more experience that you're exposed to, the better you're able to solve problems, and the better that you're able to apply the knowledge that you learn to those new problems. Things like memory, language, and knowledge improve, but obviously intellectual development also decreases, and we gave the example before of Alzheimer's disease. Please see me if you need any further clarification on these terms. Alright boys, a quick video on the definitions of development. They're all here, as you can see: physical, social, emotional, and intellectual. Not going to talk to you too much about them. I think they're pretty self-explanatory. So we'll move on to the next slide.